Twilight fans now have a new chapter in the vampire saga to moon over.
All right, started last night to mark the opening of the Twilight saga Breaking Dawn. Movie reviewer Kevin McCarthy sat down with the star Robert Pattinson to talk about his recurring role.
I love the fast-paced movements that your character can do in these movies. If you could take that fast-paced movement and use it in your daily life for one activity, what would it be?
Oh, like a million things. I mean, getting out of restaurants and bars and stuff. Like, that would be all going into them, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, doing it. I'd use it the entire time. That's how I drive.
That's how you drive? You drive like that?
I drive like a maniac.
Have you ever gotten a speeding ticket?
I mean, I don't understand how I haven't got a speeding ticket, but yeah, it's crazy. I'm like the worst driver. I'm completely reckless.
When I watch your other roles, Remember Me or Water for Elephants, I don't see Edward. I see Robert Pattinson playing an amazing role of a character. I separate myself from this franchise. And as an actor, how important is that for you, with how big this franchise is, to actually separate yourself and move on once the franchise is over and have people look at you and not as Edward Cullen?
I've never really had the fear of anything. I mean, it's an outside influence, like feeling like you have to do other stuff. But I mean, I never really feel like I'm trying to break away from the image of the Twilight series. I just kind of found things I found interesting and then did them. But yeah, like, I mean, that's the one thing. I knew that I didn't want to do 5 Twilight movies and then suddenly have to do 1 afterwards. I knew that at no point I wanted to do that. So I basically did a movie in between every single one of the series,
right?
Which I think was probably the right decision, because now I'm not particularly nervous about doing other movies afterwards. Now,
Bella's character, obviously, she's dealing with the fact that becoming an adult, she's growing up, she's leaving her childhood behind, and it's a very emotionally deep role for her. And I wanted to ask you, as an actor, even as in your real life, do you remember that moment for you? What was that scary moment for you when you first figured out I'm an adult now?
In every kind of adult moment, I guess, like getting your first apartment and getting your first car and all these things. I guess they're not. Getting a car in America is a very different thing to getting a car if you're from England.
Is it really?
Yeah, because you have to be a real grown-up to get a car in England. I mean, no one has a car. But yeah, and all those experiences I had just in. Like I had just out of having fun. I mean, my first apartment was like in the middle of London, and I kind of just got it on a whim, like just renting it out with my best friend, and it was just kind of a joke. Like every single thing, I never felt like an adult ever. We never paid the bills or anything.
All right, can't wait to hear what Kevin has to say about that interview.
We're going to find out soon.
Yeah, he's going to join us live in the next hour with his reviews of Breaking Dawn and this weekend's other new movies as well.
All right, our other big story this morning, of course, the rantings of the man accused